Well, it's somewhere a little bit different. This isn't the driveway to my house, unfortunately. We're just heading down the road, which is the entrance to Newstead Abbey. I'm here for oil beetles, and by all accounts, I'm here for a lot of oil beetles. Well, this is the beautiful Newstead Abbey. It really is a smashing place to visit. There's the remains of the abbey itself and the buildings alongside it. It's well worth going indoors, although I've never been indoors, but you can spend many an hour wandering around the gardens here, and the grounds are absolutely beautiful. There's the lake and the streams going between the lakes. It's a great place to come and visit. Entry is £6 per car, but it's £6 well spent. It's £6 that I've had to spend to come and count oil beetles today. It's the 4th of March today, and a few days ago on the 28th of February I came here, had a wander around, and I was very pleased with my total of 10 oil beetles. All were in the car park area. That was a decent count, and I was quite happy with that count. But yesterday I had a message from David Shaw, who came here for his annual visit to record oil beetles and had an amazing count. He counted over 100 oil beetles in the area of the cricket pitch alone. Now, 100 oil beetles on any UK site, I think, must be an absolutely astonishing number. It may well be a record, but this is 100 in a small area, and I'm hoping that this morning I'll get a similar count. Interestingly, David only had a single oil beetle in the car park area. So I'm having a quick walk around just to get some preliminary shots, which you've been gawping at for the last couple of minutes. I'm just waiting for that temperature to increase, but I'm on my way now to the cricket pitch area, which is behind the trees to the right of screen. Let's hope we can get a count similar to David's. If you do come to visit Newstead, I would highly recommend that you seek out this behind me. This is a tribute written by Lord Byron to his dog Boatswain, who died in the early 1800s. Now, I've not read any of Byron's work before, and I'm not into poetry by any means, but the words on this are absolutely beautifully written. If the rest of Byron's work is anything to this standard, then perhaps I ought to read it. But it's clear that Byron loved his dog. He may have been many things, Byron, in his time, but he clearly loved his dog. And if you've loved and lost a dog and you read that, then you may well be moved to tears. It's a fabulous piece of work. Well, this is the cricket pitch here at Newstead, small wooden pavilion at the far end, and it's over, I believe, in that corner where David had the biggest count, or the most concentrated number of oil beetles. I think on the night time, especially with it dropping as cool as it is presently here in Nottinghamshire at night, the beetles will make for cover, so they may well be in the leaf litter, I don't know. But I'm going to start and methodically wander and taking the line of those lime trees at the far end there. Let's hope for a good count. Well, straight away I have a group of oil beetles. We have 3 here, and then there are more just further back down there. Worryingly, these are at the base of the chairs. Well, this is a female. You can see that the antennae are far less kinked, more or less straight, and they don't have those series of larger flattened segments in the antenna. Just there is one male with in fact there's two males with this one female. So as I go along and count, I'm going to try and count the sexes as well. But this female is grazing on the leaf. Temperature's not as warm as I was expecting. The breeze that there is now is probably going to just take the edge off that temperature. That may keep them slightly inactive, but these are so vulnerable in this area. And there are 3 oil beetles here too, and I think 2 might be in cop. The one that you can see just above the leaves struggling, I think he's dragging another one behind it. So vulnerable just here, but the one that still is a male, so we've got at least 2 males here and 1 female. So that's, by my reckoning, 4 males and 2 females. And there you can see that 2 are indeed in cop. Well, there's another 2 here, which brings us to 11. The nearest one is a male and larger than the other one. I can't see the antenna on the other one. You can see it in the background at the top of the screen, but at the moment it's the base of the trees. That's where the probably coarsest of grasses are. At least they get a degree of protection from the footfall here. Quite fabulous things. Well, the count increases, and at the base of this particular lime tree here there are 2 pairs in cop, or 2 are just separated actually, but this pair in cop. But altogether there are 6, another 6 oil beetles here. I've never seen numbers like this, and I can see how there was a 3-figure count yesterday. Well, there's a particularly large and well-fed female here. They're everywhere you look. I've not seen any, although I've not really looked yet in the open ground, but around the base of the trees and the small fence at the outer part of the cricket pitch, they're all over. They are absolutely super things, and this female looks as though she might be a tad hungry, but you can see the sort of size she's getting. This one is a good 3 to 3.5 centimeters in length, easy. Absolutely fabulous things. Well, I'm on to the next tree. I'm having to take it very slowly, but oil beetles are literally everywhere here. We have one that I'm filming now that is just starting to warm up, but I can see a second and a third, a fourth and a fifth just from where I am now. This one is a female. We're pretty much even now on females, and I need to have a count up just to see where we are. It's just unbelievable. Well, here's another 2 of the, no, I said 5. There's 2 in front of me. 5, 6, 7, 8. I can see 9 now at the base of this one tree. This is a dead tree, and one's just been eating a little bit of sorrel. That one on the left there has been nibbling on that leaf, and the leaf is sorrel. Right, it's eating again. But you've got to be so careful where you walk. I can see 2 more. That makes it 11 around this particular tree. So I think it's time for a tot up. Well, it is just amazing. And say there's 11 at the base of this tree. And the total at the moment is just coming up to 30. I'm on 28. And that includes this one here. And say a lot of them are just sitting tucked away, absorbing the warmth of the sun. There's that nagging breeze which seems to be increasing, but at the base of the trees, of course, are great places for these beetles to hang out. It also means that they're safer, because unfortunately a lot of people cut across this outfield, at least on the way from the car park down to the Abbey itself. And I know when Dillis and I came many years ago, we found a lot here on the cricket pitch area, but virtually all of them were crushed. It's a different story now, and as long as they stay tucked away and at the base of the trees and the fences and the seats here, they should be relatively safe. Although as long as there isn't a cricket match while these are adults, I don't think anyone sits on these white seats too much. But I urge you to come and look for these. If you've never seen an oil beetle, or if you've never seen oil beetles in numbers, this is the place to come. Well, this is just truly astonishing. I never thought I would see anything like this. Around this next tree, I've counted 25 oil beetles. Some are in cop, but others, like these, are just sat there enjoying the sun. They're just taking that warmth in. But 25 oil beetles around the base of one large tree. Normally in any year you would have to walk all over Budbury South Forest to get a count anywhere near that, if you could get near it. And yet here I'm now on to 55 oil beetles, all Malo proscarabeus. If you're a coleopterist, you need to get here and have a look at these. It's quite remarkable. Another tree base, but look at the number here. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 oil beetles. This is the tree closest to the pavilion. It's astounding. It really is astounding. I've not placed these beetles here at all. These are just congregating in the warmest sites. If we do get some nice sunny weather, they will move away, but they're 1, 3, 5, 7, 8 and 10. It is astounding, it really is. And there's 2 behind me as well, under the seats, and I can see an 11th here, so that's another 13 to add to the ever increasing total. It's hard to imagine, knowing this beetle is so scarce. Say, we know of 3 Nottinghamshire sites. I think it's possibly still at a 4th, but I think there are also new sites for this species waiting to be discovered. But if you come to the cricket pitch here, the best areas to check for oil beetles are from the row of trees just topside against the wooden buildings here, and across. And you need to check underneath the white seats as well. There are odd beetles on the outfield of the cricket pitch, but the majority of the beetles are on these trees bordering the outfield, and that's on the northern side, so they have sort of warm south facing sides where the beetles can congregate and warm up in the morning sunshine. Altogether, so far, just on this area here, I've yet to check the car park area, but I've had 78 oil beetles. Absolutely astounding figure. Hopefully we may well be able to add another few to that. Potentially, I know there should be 10 up there, but when David came yesterday he only had the one, and when I did a preliminary check after arriving and pulling up in the car, I didn't see any. But there's a bit more warmth in the sun now, and so the beetles may well be out in the open. So we'll go and have a look. I just can't believe this total. I've had a fabulous few hours here at Newstead Abbey, and counting oil beetles in a number I didn't think was possible, at least not at this site. They're all in a small area, or two small areas. One, a smaller amount of beetles in the car park area in which I'm sitting now, but most are on and around the cricket pitch, especially towards the bases of the trees. I've had a good walk around this area. In fact, I've gone over it twice, and I've ended up with a total count of 95 oil beetles. I've not been able to break it down into male and female ratio, but I imagine it's just more males than females from what I've seen. I never thought it was possible to see oil beetles in such numbers. And what's even more remarkable about the numbers for me, of this magnificent beetle alone, to see one or two is absolutely fabulous. But to see 95, and this 95 and what is the best year for oil beetles, at least in recent times in Nottinghamshire, coming after 2024, the year in which we all said was the worst ever for insects. Maybe it's a real sign that things are going to get better, and I did forecast better things for this year and in the next few years, but I didn't expect it to start at the beginning of 2025 and with Meloe proscarabeus. Quite remarkable, and I urge you to come. If you want to see these beetles, come as soon as possible before the weather becomes warmer and the car and footfall becomes even greater.